Okay, Sandeep's question. Okay, good. Fill in the blanks. We haven't looked at it for quite some time. Let's quickly look at this. Our sense of smell is dash complex, yet often dash when compared to sight or hearing. The options are usually dismissed, generally undermined, amazingly weakened, and incredibly undervalued. Okay. Ma'am, answer is option C. Why option B and D are wrong? Why is it wrong? Let's look at it. Sense of smell. Complex, clue word, yet often dash when compared to sight or hearing. Okay, so the sense of smell is compared to sight or hearing. So having said that, the words that I see is undermined and undervalued, generally and incredibly. Okay, amazingly, incredibly look like synonyms to me, so both could go, but generally, let's see, when I say something is generally, I'm saying popularly this is what it is known to be, right? I'm just thinking loud. So when I say something is generally this is the case, I'm saying usually, right? Those are the words that come to mind. I'm thinking of synonyms. Usually, this is what comes to mind. That is not the case, right? If that was the case, then we give a lot of weightage or importance to sight and hearing. Right? So, when we say something is gaining more prominence, which is sight, so look at it, right? If I say, we know for a fact that we don't give a lot of importance to smell as much as we give importance to eyesight and hearing, right? So, both option A and B will not come because it's not the answer, because it has usually and generally. But that is not the case, right? Then we go back and look at C and D. So because of the options, the first blank, usually and generally, which is contradicting what meaning the context is giving, I can't use option A and B. It is not, if it was generally and popularly and usually complex, then it will have more weightage than sight and hearing. But that's not the case. Undermined has the same meaning as weakened, actually, if you ask me. Right? To undermine something. When you say I'm undermining you, you can undermine somebody by insulting them. Right? So I can say I insulted that person, right? And because of that, her confidence was undermined. Let me give you, so I can say my insult undermined her confidence. My insult undermined her confidence. What do I mean by that? So because I said something really bad, her confidence was weakened, right? So it's the same meaning as weakened. But A and B, because of the first blanks, out. Let's look at C and D. Amazingly, incredibly are almost like synonyms, right? It's kind of okay. But then I have to choose between weakened and undervalued. In this context, what we're saying is something is diminishing. What do I need in the context? Something is diminishing in either quality or strength or in the way it is used, utility, right? This is the meaning that the context is giving. Our sense of smell is dash complex, yet often dash when compared to sight or hearing. So, when compared to sight or hearing, the sense of smell is diminished. In utility, we don't give that much importance to it. So, which is the word? Is it weakened or undervalued that gives me this meaning? Diminishing in either quality, strength or utility. Weakened. Exactly, Vinay Kumar. Correct. Right? So for me, even though amazingly and incredibly are synonyms, I will go with option C, which seems to be the answer and which seems to be the appropriate fit in the context. Why not undervalued? What is the meaning of when I undervalue something? What am I saying? I am rating something insufficiently, right? I am failing to appreciate it. So in this context, we are talking about how it's the function or the purpose of it is diminished, right? The sense of smell, the function, what it does is diminished when compared to hearing or sight. These are all the results of, I would say, the action that comes out of a particular organ. Eyes enable me to see, ears enable me to hear, so the function that it performs is diminished, right? When I say undervalue, I'm talking about, see, for example, you and I can even undervalue efforts of your mom, or a husband can undervalue the efforts of his wife, right? You're not appreciating the value, but that's not the meaning that the context is giving. So in that sense, C is correct. Next one, people believe that prayer can reduce stress and the immune system in our body. What are my options? Devout, boost, materialistic, enhance, worldly, promote, unselfish, sustain. So if you look at it, boost, enhance, promote, all of them are almost like synonyms, right? Sustain, to maintain. Neither here nor there, it's a neutral word. But what is your clue word here in the context? Prayer, right? You will usually associate prayer to not materialistic people, not worldly people, maybe unselfish people, but devout is a more appropriate term, right, that I can associate prayer to. So devout people believe that prayer can reduce stress and boost. That's another collocation for you, right? Boost the immune system. We've always seen at various circumstances, situations where boost is used with immune system. It's a collocation. A, which is fill in the blanks, right? There are two blanks. So in the following sentences, there are two blanks for which options have been given. Choose the most appropriate option. Yeah, I looked that up, Pragyam, if you're facing trouble with the report. So here again, for those of you who are new, right, fill in the blanks, we have a couple of strategies. Pretty simple. All we say is, hey, we're going to focus on words surrounding the blank, right? Oops. Surrounding the blank, one, right? Why do we do that? Because it helps us with grouping of words, right? Then we also, there are hint words or clue words that help us from the context, right? We also look at the entire meaning that the sentence is given. What meaning does the sentence convey? Right? So these are pretty much the strategies that we look at. So quickly, when you look at this, the criterion for dash a player should be his recent performance, but unfortunately the journalists are dashed to be carried away by earlier successes. Some of you have given me responses. So a couple of clue words. What are the clue words in the context? Quickly, those of you who've been able to answer it, how did you arrive at that? Can you tell me what was the clue word in this? Yes, Rajkumar. Very good, right? So you're looking at performance. That's one of the clue word, right? So when you say performance, you need a neutral word to relate to that clue word. So having said that, condemning, criticizing can be quickly eliminated. Eager is not in the right form and it's not even the right word in the context. Revealing, unrelated word, right? So the criterion for judging a player should be his recent performance, But unfortunately, this should be the ideal case. However, what's happening is the journalists are prone to be carried away by earlier successes. So, completing the meaning of the sentence. Criterion is yes, another clue word for you. Both criterion and performance helps you with figuring out the answer, right? So, in this particular question format, we've just applied the strategy of clue words and hint words.